Check one, two. Check one, two.
the time. I'm David Martin, Chair of the Commission on Teacher and Administrator Education, Certification, and License Development Commission, present at the Woolfolk State Office Building, room 145 at 501 Northwest Street, Jackson, Mississippi, 39201. This is a regular meeting of the Commission being held today, Friday, January 6, 2023, at 10 a.m. pursuant to Mississippi Code annotated 25-41-5. Some Commission members present via teleconference. Notice of this meeting, which included date, time, place, and purpose of the meeting and identified the location available to the public, has been posted. An audio recording is being made of this meeting, and minutes will be recorded. So we'll have a call to order. This meeting called to order at 10 a.m. Friday, January 6, 2023. And we'll establish a quorum. As I call your names of Commission members, please state the location of your presence for this meeting. James Creel.
Brookhaven, Mississippi.
Thanks, sir. Rebecca Gray.
Present, Iuka, Mississippi.
Thank you. William Hamilton. Mr. Hamilton. Mary Hill Taylor.
Good morning, present, Bailey, Mississippi.
Thank you. John Howard.
Present, Clarksdale, Mississippi.
Thanks, sir. Kim Hubbard. Thought I saw her. Did I miss her? Ms. Hubbard?
Yes.
Yep, there she is. What's your location? All right. Dr. Teresa Jero. Dr. Burnell Kelly.
Present, Gulfport, Mississippi.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Teresa Poole.
Present, Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Thank you. Dr. Simmons.
Good morning, President, Gulfport, Mississippi.
Thank you. And Ms. Taplin. Ms. Taplin? She dropped off. She was with us a minute ago. We're good, or we're gonna be one show?
I think,
I did too. That's what I was thinking. Ms. Taplin, you with us? Checking to make sure we have a quorum. Y'all give us just a second. She just flashed on the screen and went on. Good morning, Ms. Taplin. Can you hear us? Can't hear us? She can hear us. We can't hear her. Okay. All right. Yes, you can type in the chat if you need to reach us if we can't get sound up and working. So a quorum of the commission is present at the location stated for conducting a meeting through teleconference means. Move on to item number 3, approval of the minutes from the November 4th, 2022 meeting. Commission on it will entertain a motion for approval. Please identify yourself for the record.
I move that the minutes be approved from the November 4th meeting. John Howard.
Thanks, sir. Need a second? Please identify yourself for the record.
Second, Mary Hill Taylor.
Thank you, ma'am. Any discussion? Approval of November minutes. All right, then we'll call for a vote. All those in favor, vote aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item 4, approval of the hearing subcommittee minutes from the November 4th. Subcommittee members present that day on November 4th were myself and Rebecca Gray and Miss Mary Hill Taylor. Were they both on? All right. Okay, so that on next group one. We'll entertain a motion for approval. Please identify yourself for the record.
Motion for approval, Rebecca Gray.
Thank you, ma'am. Need a second?
Second, Mary Hill Taylor.
Thank you, ma'am. Any discussion? All right, those from that day, all those in favor, vote aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
No opposition, motion carries. Moving on to item number 5, approval of hearing subcommittee minutes from November 1st, 2022. Subcommittee members present on that day were Dr. Teresa Poole, James Creel, and Kim Hubbard. Those will be our 3 members. Entertain a motion for approval. Please identify yourself for the record.
Motion to approve, Jamie Creel.
Second,
Motion,
Kim
Mr.
Hubbard.
Creel. Second, Ms. Hubbard, thank you. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Unanimous for those present, motion carries. Moving on to item number 6, adoption of the agenda. Entertain a motion for approval. Please identify yourself for your record. And Ms. Kaplan, if you would, we're still not hearing you. You would give us a thumbs up on the screen or type into the chat for these. Thank you, ma'am. Adoption of agenda. Entertain a motion for approval of our agenda.
Motion for approval, Kim Hubbard.
Thank you. Need a second?
Second.
Second, Burnell.
Second, Ms. Nelson. All right. All those in favor, vote aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item number 7, MDE updates from Dr. Corey Murphy.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chairman Martin. Good morning to you, good sir, members of the commission and all other attendees of the meeting. Happy New Year to you all. I'd like to provide a brief update regarding the progress we're making on the development of the Mississippi Educator Career Continuum Archive System, which we refer to as MECA. Particularly, the Mississippi Department of Education is acquiring this new system to replace our current educator licensure management system. However, this will be more than just an educator licensure application system. MECA will be a customized, cloud-based, all-in-one, single sign-on educator workforce information system that serves as a hub to capture the life cycle of a Mississippi educator from recruitment to retirement. The MECA system will bring together many functions of the Office of Teaching and Leading into one ecosystem, supporting all education stakeholders in some way. Our desire is to create a workforce development system that is tailored to the needs of the specific end user. The MECA system will consist of 4 portals, and namely, Portal 1 will entail our educator preparation, educator licensure, and misconduct evaluations. Portal 2, professional growth system, observation and development, our PGS system. And Portal 3 consists of an educator talent system portal, and Portal 4, local district accreditation portal. And so just to share a few of the features of each of those portals very briefly, the educator preparation, educator licensure, and educator misconduct evaluations portal, the educator preparation or EPPs will have the ability to submit data that's required for annual reporting directly into the MECA system, allowing the MDE to compile the information and produce reports more efficiently. Your last meeting, Dr. Burson actually presented the report, and that was actually done manually by her and her colleagues for the most part, Dr. Stooley. And so what this would do is just bring about more efficiency in compiling that report that's required by law and state board policy. EPPs will continue to have the ability to recommend candidates for licensure, and a new feature provides EPPs with the capability to submit documents required for program review and approval. And so the educator licensure section, Portal 1, will continue to include the submission of and processing of licensure application requests. The licensure application tracking feature will be a new feature for candidates, and we're hoping that will be some kind of graphical representation of the status from start to finish. Auto issuance of certain license types that require no human touch point. And so we do that already with a couple of the licenses that we offer in the current system that's being that we're transitioning away from. But one example we're looking at bringing about efficiency with is the auto issuance of the initial license earned by a candidate who completes a traditional pathway program. And so the current process, once a candidate is ready for licensure, the EPP will recommend them for licensure. And then the candidate applies to that recommendation for licensure. And then they wait for us to actually check that. And so that takes, depending on the time of year, 4 to 6 weeks for that to occur. But with the new system, at the point at which the educator preparation provider recommends the candidate actually applies to recommendation, and the license is automatically issued at that point, eliminating that 4 to 6 week time frame that candidates have to wait to get the license for the most part. All right. And so that's one example. And so the educator misconduct evaluation section, as you know, this is an area that we really don't care to have, but we need it. But we want to bring about more efficiency there as well. And we know that you guys report in the district level, for the most part, infractions and other areas are required to report infractions and so on and so forth. But this particular portal will allow local districts to submit certain documents needed for reporting infractions or allegations of educator misconduct as required by state law and state board policy. There are lots of other features that are included in that, and we'll be conducting training, of course, for each of those particular users as we phase in these different components of Portal 1. So Portal 2, just a brief synopsis of that one. So that's the Professional Growth System Observation and Development Portal. The Professional Growth System Observation and Development Portal will serve as a training portal. It can be used by local school districts as well for the purpose of conducting observations in an electronic mode of delivery, and allow the individual that is observed to have real-time access to timely feedback. The tool will also include access to MDE-approved PTS standards aligned on-demand professional learning opportunities that can be assigned by the observer but upon the conclusion of the observation session to address targeted areas for growth that were identified during the observation process. The professional learning opportunities can also be self-selected by educators at any time for licensure renewal. And the observation feedback and results will be archived for access beyond their current school district. And so they don't have to, as I had to do, I get the little piece of paper that the principal gives to me and have to keep up with it for the next district or school principal that asks for my results of observations, so on and so forth. You'll be able to find that right in the system. Portal 3, the Educator Talent Portal, just an overview of that one. The Educator Talent Portal, we're excited about this and that it will serve as a tool that would aid in the execution of strategic educator workforce efforts to attract, recruit, prepare, support, and retain teachers and administrators. In addition, the system will help the MDE Office of Teaching and Leading and Mississippi Local School District HR staff, their talent teams, to transition from a manual reactive, process for attracting and recruiting prospective educators to an automated, streamlined process that will improve productivity and create a pathway for proactive staffing for public school districts across the state. And so particularly just a few features of that, you'll be able to have a candidate tracking feature, and that candidates should be able to actually create a profile and kind of search for jobs within the state. The MDE, local school districts, educated preparation providers can market their educated preparation providers market their programs within the system, or MDE market, positions that you guys place in the system, but also, recruitment campaign feature will be included in this particular portal as well. And so the Mississippi Educator Preparation Program and Employment Opportunity Search feature will be included in that, and I think I just mentioned that one. The accreditation portal is Portal 4, and just a brief overview of that one is local school district accreditation portal. That one is being created for the purpose of conducting virtual audits of certain accreditation standards that do not require a physical presence in the local school district. The portal will also provide information related to years of experience for those educators serving in Mississippi school districts, starting with the first year of the implementation of the MECA system. Now, it is not meant to replace the official timekeeper, which is our sister agency, the Public Employees Retirement System in Mississippi. Rather, what we're trying to do is eliminate another, document that you have to submit to verify your experience when you're seeking, for instance, to gain licensure in the area of ed leadership, or some other area that requires you to submit your number of years of experience. And so we'll start to capture that at implementation. And so educator class schedules will be archived for future access for any time served. And so that's, sometimes we have to go back to see from year to year where someone served for licensing purposes and so on and so forth. And so this will be archived in the system as well. And so we'll capture current and past district of service, starting with implementation of the MECA system. And so all of the portals, across all portals, what you'll find is a survey development, dissemination, and data collection and reporting tool across all of the portals. We'll have dashboards for data reporting and display, document and data submission features across all 4 portals, audio, visual, recording and playback features. Those meetings that we would normally have in person when we're on an accreditation audit. We can actually do that right there in the system. We have questions about the document that you uploaded for us to review and verify. Also, secure and improved identity management features for gaining access to the respective portals. And what that means is actually utilizing your Facebook password or your Google password for the most part, so that, when you change it over here, it automatically, changes across systems. You don't have to keep up with lots of passwords. I have about 100 myself right now. So as it relates to timeline, we basically procured the contract with and the services of Randa Solutions, a group out of Nashville, Tennessee, in March of 2022, completed that process. The first kickoff meeting was April 2022. We started user acceptance testing and with external and MDE users in October of 2022. Portal 1, we are on schedule to actually launch Portal 1 January 17th. That's a matter of days. So we're starting training, and you should have received some kind of correspondence this week for the most part with those dates that you can register to attend those trainings that will happen throughout next week. We'll also record those trainings, and we'll have office hours available for those who want to join and ask specific questions during that time. We'll go live with Portal 2. Projected time frame or month is December 2023, and Portals 3 and 4 will go live in June of 2024. All right, and so what I want to do here is share just a short snippet or video of what the system will look like and show you in action what a couple of those features that I just mentioned would actually look like, and you will experience when we launch. And so I'll launch that now.
It is always the goal of the Mississippi Department of Education to afford professional educators the ability to maximize every available moment with students by limiting the time spent on tasks not related to instructional delivery. One strategy strategy employed by the MDE to accomplish this goal is the recent investment to streamline its state-level processes, reducing the amount of paperwork for educator licensure. Introducing the Mississippi Educator Career Continuum Archive System, known as MECA, a state-of-the-art cloud-based system dedicated to supporting teachers from recruitment to retirement. MECA will be more than an educator licensure application approval system. MECA consists of 4 portals for licensure, professional growth, educator talent, and accreditation. These portals will provide an integrated approach to supporting a Mississippi educator's entire career lifecycle. On January 17th, the Mississippi Department of Education will launch Portal 1, Educator Preparation, Licensure, and Misconduct Evaluations. MECA eliminates the need to remember complicated passwords with single sign-on functionality connected to an educator's commonly used personal applications. Continuing education units are tracked and processed as they are earned by uploading documentation to the assigned educator licensure management account. This allows the renewal of the license to be automatically issued at the point of submission. Built-in checklists and forms streamline the licensure process for all educators. This includes the automatic issuance of licenses for educators completing a traditional educator preparation pathway and limits MDE staff involvement, eliminating the usual 4 to 6 weeks processing time. The MECA Educator Licensure Portal is only the beginning. Every Mississippi student deserves access to a high-performing educator. Coming by the end of 2023, Mississippi educators will enjoy the ability to use MECA for organizing, maintaining, and enhancing their professional growth. In addition, the Educator Talent Portal, coming in 2024, will connect teacher candidates directly to opportunities for employment. By leveraging advanced data modeling, MECA will reduce the time it takes to put the right teacher with the right student and maximize every learning moment.
All right, Chairman Martin, that concludes my update.
Appreciate that. I know we're excited about that system and seeing it up and running. It's a long-term process, obviously, but you can see by the rollout dates, but probably just as much time on the forefront. So appreciate your time and effort in that. And definitely can see your vision coming forth with that. So thank you for that. Moving on to item number 8, approval to begin the Administrative Procedures Act process to guide Mississippi Administrative Code 7.4, Part 4, Licensure Guidelines K-12 to amend certain criteria regarding renewal and reinstatement of Mississippi Educator Licensure. Dr. Murphy.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chairman Martin. This particular item, like others that we bring before you, we continue to review all of our guidelines and every criterion that make up, any licensure pathway. And so, in particular, we see this as the beginning of the review that we're doing with renewal, and wanted to move these items, which are, I guess, seen as low-hanging fruit for the most part, but we will do a more comprehensive review of our renewal and reinstatement requirements, and be bringing back some recommendations in the future. But the first, I guess, recommendation for this particular item around renewal is that we'd like to ask approval to allow retired educators to not have to wait until their license expire in order to utilize the letter that they received from the Public Employee Retirement System in Mississippi. And that this causes, as I learned from talking to education stakeholders and some today for the most part, contractual issues when they're working part-time in a district for the most part. And so I want to allow those educators that are retired to utilize not only for reinstatement, but that letter for renewal of that license. Another is right now we require that by state board policy that the candidates complete continuing education units or coursework. And particularly, it's a technical thing, but we stick to what it says, continuing education units. So if it says anything other than that, we're not able to accept it, or it has to be approved by an agency that is considered higher education agency. But there are accrediting bodies that accredits on a national front for the most part. And so just wanted to expand an educator's reach and their ability to actually engage in professional learning that's not more restricted for the most part. And so that's what that second piece is, opening it up to reflect what it would be contact hours or clock hours and not just restricting it to CEUs, and that we've seen some high quality professional learning that individuals have engaged in, but because it wasn't continuing education unit and didn't follow the guidelines that are set by the state board, we couldn't accept it. And so if it's not within the confines of policy, we won't. And so just making that adjustment there. And then the last is in asking if a candidate actually completes professional learning through an organization that is accredited by the international accreditors for continuing education and training organization, that we're able to actually accept those. And we receive lots of certificates from candidates across the state of Mississippi who attend those trainings that are approved through this particular body. And so that's the ask today, to make some adjustments to the policy to expand professional learning access for educators and administrators in the state.
Appreciate the update on that. The recommendation, I do think, is very relevant. I think it'll be helpful to a lot of districts. We'll entertain a motion for approval, a motion taken under advisement. Please identify yourself for the record.
Motion for approval, Etta Taplin. Teresa Poole, second.
Thank you, and thank you. All right, any further discussion? Any questions? All right, and we'll call for a vote. All those in favor, vote aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, we'll move on to item number 9, approval of certain educator preparedness providers to offer the Mississippi State Board of Education approved program that leads to a supplemental endorsement in the area of elementary education, K through 6. Dr. Burson will have an update on that.
Good morning. Thank you, Chairman Martin. Good to see you and the commission members online today. Thank you for this opportunity to bring this before you. Back in September of 2021, this commission approved our recommendation for a supplemental endorsement in K-6 licensure. This was based upon large number of district needs for elementary teachers. And prior to this approval, and by this commission, and of course, ultimately the state board in December of 2021, the only mechanism in which a candidate could earn K-6 licensure would be to complete a baccalaureate degree. And so upon the approval of this supplemental endorsement, existing educators with 3 years of experience can complete the supplemental endorsement consisting of the literacy 4-course sequence and a STEM or math method, and then passing foundations of reading, and then be licensed K-6. So we're very excited about this, and we're very excited that the following universities are now requesting approval to offer this at their institution: Alcorn State University, Belhaven University, Delta State University, Mississippi College, Mississippi State University, the University of Mississippi, the University of Southern Mississippi, and William Carey University. And so at this time, we'd like to seek the commission's approval.
All right. Oh, because we do have a couple of members that serve with these institutions that are requested. We'll need Dr. J-Row and Dr. Poole to recuse yourselves as we vote on those. And we have enough for a quorum. We can recuse themselves, we'll vote on them as a group rather than individually.
Okay.
Universities. All right. So we'll need a motion to motion for approval, motion take under advisement. Please identify yourself for the record.
Motion for approval, Etta Taplin.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll need a second.
Second, Kim Hubbard.
Second, Ms. Hubbard, thank you. Any further discussion? All right, and this time we'll call for a vote. All those in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So Dr. Jaber and Dr. Poole, give them just a minute to rejoin us. We'll move on to item number 10.
I'm back.
I'm back. This is Teresa Poole.
Good deal. Thank you, ma'am. All right. We'll proceed on with agenda item number 10. Approve again the Administrative Procedures Act process to provide Mississippi Administrative Code Title 7, Part 107, 2021 Educator Preparation Provider Process and Performance Guidelines to amend certain criteria.
Thank you. As stated by Dr. Murphy in the previous agenda item for the licensure guidelines, we continue to do the same thing for our educator preparation provider process and review guidelines. Review those guidelines to ensure that we are adhering to best practice and continue in a continuous improvement model. And with that being said, we would like to bring to your attention today a few revisions to certain sections that we'll be requesting for Administrative Procedure Act process. The first will be a requirement for, go back to review revisions to Section 3, Standards and Ethics. On the State Review Processes Annual Report section, page 19, we will require the submission of data for all common statewide assessments. Again, this is just getting more explicit in the requirements that we have. And the second ask here is for the EPP program review directions to require the submission of recruitment plans and or sunsetting plans for low enrollment programs. And that would be added to page 25 of the existing guidelines. As we go through program review, we have several programs that are institutions that are very low enrollment or either not matriculating candidates. And we wanted to ensure that these EPPs are providing plans for how they will recruit candidates into those programs or provide us documentation that the program has been sunsetted. The next revisions and updates will be into Section 6. The first will be requirement for literacy course syllabi to align to the International Dyslexia Association's 2018 Knowledge and Practice Standards for Teachers of Reading and the International Literacy Association Standards 2017 with an effective date of January 1st, 2024. This will give our institutions a full year to ensure that those literacy syllabi address these national standards. We'll also seek to, on page 61, define literacy 1 and 2 as structured literacy, and in the secondary ed programs where we require reading pedagogy, that reading pedagogy be based on structured literacy, again aligned to those literacy standards, KCS and ILA, with an effective date of January 1st, 2024. And our last change would be to the elementary program requirement that exists now of 2 18-hour concentrations. We want to amend that to 1 18-hour content concentration and 1 12-hour reading endorsement to align with the requirements in our alternate route programs, and this would be effective upon state board approval. This change in hours aligns also, or it stays and maintains adherence to 37326A2, which requires 2 content area concentrations, but the hours are not specified in the law, and so we are still in alignment with that. It also creates greater coherence with our licensure guidelines in the 1 18-hour. The reading endorsement that we brought to you that changed that endorsement to 12 hours. Many of our EPPs use the reading endorsement prior because it was more hours, 18 or above for some of our EPPs, as one of those endorsements. So we feel like by bringing this to a 12-hour reading concentration as their endorsement area, that creates more consistency across programs.
All right, thank you.
Happy to address any questions.
Let's say any discussion, any questions you have, please identify yourself for the record. All right, then we'll entertain a motion for approval or a motion to take under advisement. Please identify yourself for the record.
Teresa Poole, motion to approve.
Thank you. I need a second.
Second, John Howard.
All those in favor, vote aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. Moving on to item number 11, approval of ratifications of agreed orders and or voluntary surrenders. Mr. Scott DeYoung. Christmas spirit.
Morning, Chairman.
I think you're all.
Okay, good morning, Chairman Martin and members of the commission. I have two orders that I would like to present to you for consideration for ratification. In the matter of Mississippi Educator License number 314288, Stephanie Bibbs, whereas on or about October 19th, 2022, an Appendix C report was submitted by the Jackson Public School District to the Office of Educator Misconduct of the Mississippi Department of Education that alleged the respondent, Stephanie Bibbs, violated Standard 10 of the Mississippi Educator Code of Ethics and Standards of Conduct. Whereas the respondent, Stephanie Bibbs, has consented to make a voluntary surrender and relinquishment of respondent's teaching license without the necessity of disciplinary hearing before the commission. It's therefore stipulated as follows. The respondent, Stephanie Bibbs, admits violating Mississippi Code annotated 373212A and 37957 on or about August 16, 2022, by resigning or otherwise abandoning her position as a teacher with the Jackson Public School District. Upon execution of this agreed order, the respondent shall immediately be deemed to have voluntarily surrendered educator license number 314288 to teach in the state of Mississippi and all privileges belonging to said license through June 30th, 2023. The surrender shall remain in effect through June 30th, 2023, and respondent shall not apply for reinstatement prior to this date. Thereafter, the respondent may petition for reinstatement of her educator's license. The Office of Educator Misconduct is authorized to reinstate the respondent's license without further order or action of the commission. In the matter of Mississippi Educator License number 144546, John Todd Pittman, whereas on or about August 22nd, 2022, the Office of Educator Misconduct and Mississippi Department of Education received an Appendix C report submitted by the Marion County School District that alleged the respondent, John Todd Pittman, had committed a violation 4 of the Mississippi Educator Code of Ethics and Standards of Conduct. Such action constitutes the ground for suspension or revocation of the respondent's educator license in accordance with Mississippi Code annotated 373212F. Whereas the respondent, John Todd Pittman, has consented to an agreed order revoking educator license number 144546 without the necessity for disciplinary hearing before the commission. It is It is therefore stipulated as follows. The respondent admits that during the 2022-2023 school year, employed as an educator at the Marion County School District, respondent violated Standard 4 of the Mississippi Educator Code of Ethics and Standards of Conduct. And upon execution of this agreed order, respondent's educator license number 144546 to teach in the state of Mississippi, and all privileges belonging to said license shall immediately be revoked for a period of 2 calendar years from the date of acceptance by the Commission of Teacher and Administrator Education, Certification, and Licensure Development, or a subcommittee thereof. That it is further agreed that the respondent shall, at own expense, complete a seminar or coursework equivalent to no less than 3 course hours related to proper, ethical student-educator relationships from a reputable source satisfactory to the Commission prior to the conclusion of the revocation period stated prior. The respondent shall submit proof of attendance and successful completion of the course of study to the Office of Educator Misconduct prior to or contemporaneous with any petition for reinstatement. The respondent may petition for reinstatement of the respondent's educator license following conclusion of the revocation period if eligible. Such reinstatement petition shall be in accordance with Mississippi Code Annotation 373214A and the rules of procedure governing disciplinary proceedings of the Commission. The Commission, in its discretion, may reinstate the respondent's educator license only by a majority of all members of the Commission present at the meeting called for that purpose, upon the respondent's satisfactory showing of evidence of rehabilitation. That concludes the agreed orders, and the Office of Educator Misconduct requests that the Commission consider these for ratification.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that. Any discussion? All right, well, entertain a motion for approval or a motion to take under advisement. Please identify yourself for the record.
Motion
Mary
to
Hill
approve,
Taylor,
Burnell
motion to
Kelly.
approve.
Y'all catch your name on that? The, 2 of you spoke at the same time. We couldn't make out either one. I'm sorry.
Motion to approve, Burnell Kelly.
Thank you, ma'am. Need a second?
Second, Mary Hill Taylor.
Thank you, ma'am. All those in favor, vote aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Young. Again, we know those take up a lot of time, so we appreciate that. Moving on, item number 12, approval to host the Licensure Commission member retreat on Thursday, March 30th, 2023, or Friday, March 31st, 2023. Location to be determined. Dr. Murphy, you have anything you want to add on that?
No, sir. The last one you guys had was 2019, and we know what happened in 2020 and 2021. We were regrouping for the most part, so I think it's very timely that we should by March have the additional 3 members that we need to make the 15-member team. Now, if those dates don't work for you, I can definitely send some out for you to select from, and you can table it. But nonetheless, just wanted to place this before you, and we'll move based on how you vote to.
Yes, sir. All right, so a Thursday or Friday in March, we have a preference? Open for discussion?
Friday, John Howard.
I agree. I think Friday might be better. This is Mary Taylor.
Kim Hubbard, I agree with Friday.
All right. For those talking, seems like Friday seems to be the majority. Anybody against Friday? Sounds good to me. So I think we'll take a vote Entertain a motion for approval to hold the retreat on Friday, March 31st, 2023, location to be determined. Need a motion for approval or a motion taken under advisement. Please identify yourself for the record.
Motion to approve, Rebecca Gray.
Thank you. Need a second?
Jamie Creel.
Got you, Mr. Creel. Any other discussion? All right, we'll
Will
move for a
that
vote.
retreat be, oh, I'm sorry. I was just
Did you
going to ask if the retreat would be virtual or everyone in person?
He was planning to wear in person, I think. That's what we were talking about, but there may be a virtual option as well, but we're hoping for in person.
Okay, just wanted to ask.
Any other discussion?
I have a question.
All right.
Go ahead, I ask mine after.
Oh, this is Rebecca Gray. Is this, I know you said to be determined, but will it probably be in the Jackson area?
It'll likely be in the Jackson area.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Y'all don't want to no one wants to come north?
I thought it was gonna be, I thought it was gonna be on the beach or something. Y'all said retreat. I thought it was
We
gonna
can't
be
afford
like
the beach, man.
William Kira would be glad to host it if you all need any space.
Okay, good to know.
So I think, yeah, the area is still kind of open, so we'll still look at that, but the date works. If it's too big a conflict, I'm sure we can arrange from there. All right. All right, so then we'll still have a motion, or excuse me, still have a vote for Friday, March 31st, 2023. We've already gone through any discussion. All those in favor, vote aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, appreciate everybody being here today. I hope we had a great Christmas, and I hope you're getting ready for an exciting 2023. We'll have a great year, so appreciate all that you do. Appreciate you making the time. We'll move on to item 13, adjournment. Entertain a motion for approval. Please identify yourself for the record.
Motion, Jamie Creel.
Thank you, Mr. Creel.
Second, Kim Hubbard.
Second, Ms. Hubbard, thank you. All those in favor, vote aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, again, appreciate you all. Motion carries. Have a great